Hi again, guys. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Walt, more known as Dan Wilson. Hope you guys have been having a great day. Hopefully better than mine has been. Here in southeast Missouri today, we have had rain, and more rain almost all day long. Had a massive thunderstorm blow through here a little earlier today. I was going to shoot a little video earlier today and just had some bad storms and a lot of rain pouring down. And anyway, back over in the garage workshop again. I've got another project in the works here that I thought I'd share with you guys. And today, actually, it's getting close to evening actually at this point, but I have a air compressor here in the shop that needs a new pressure switch installed on it. It broke down a few months ago, and I thought you guys might be interested in watching how we do some of these repairs. I'm not exactly a professional air compressor mechanic, but I believe I could fix this on my own. An air compressor is a very essential tool to have in just about any shop. If you need it to air up tires, or in my case I have a lot of wide variety of air tools. I've got a really good air impact wrench, an air ratchet, I've got an air die grinder. I even have a what's called pneumatic grease gun here in the shop that all requires air pressure, and that's the reason why I need to get this compressor repaired. So stick around and we'll get started on this in just a minute. Okay guys, what we're working on today is a Brute brand air compressor. It's actually made by Briggs & Stratton. I hope you can hear me over the noise, over the rain noise going on right now. It's still raining right now. It's kind of noisy in the shop right now, so I hope my audio is okay. So there's the compressor, and I'll just show you some basic parts of it and kind of what we have going on here. Of course, there's the main piston unit on the compressor up here on the top. Inside we have a piston in there, just like you might have on an internal combustion engine. The compressor is what pumps the air in and builds up the pressure. And over here on the top, if I can get the camera maneuvered very well here. On top here, we have right here is called a startup capacitor. That's very essential with a lot of different type of electric motors. They've got to have an extra surge of energy to get started properly. What this capacitor does, I know this because I have a degree in electronics from a long time ago, so I remember most of it though. A capacitor is essentially like a battery in a way. It stores up a charge. Whenever you plug your cord in or turn your switch on, the capacitor stores up a charge. And what that does is when you go to start your motor up, it releases a surge of electricity which helps start the motor up. Because these electric motors, a lot of them, so I can zoom in a little bit here and show you a little, whoops, the camera just slipped a little bit. That's why I need a camera operator. I don't have. Down here is the main motor part right in there. Now this has to be a single phase motor. It's just 120 volt. I have worked on 3-phase motors and with quite a variety of them over the years. On the back side of the motor back here we have a coolant fan. When this motor's up and running, this fan right here is very essential. It blows cool air in across the motor and provides for cooling. So I need to have that on there. And again, I've said before, I'm not a professional air compressor repair person. It's just that I work on whatever comes up usually. And right over in here is the pressure switch we're going to be changing out here in just a little bit. This one has a slightly different type than what you may have seen on other units. A lot of air compressors have a pressure switch much like you might find on a water pump, for example. Here I've got the top loose on it right here. That's what some of the internal parts look like. I'll try to zoom a little bit here. So what happens is when you turn the compressor on and it starts building up pressure to a preset level, in this case it's 125 psi, and then the pressure switch is what shuts the compressor off when it reaches its proper amount of air pressure. If I get my words out these days. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Right now I've got this one loose. This particular pressure switch uses what's called a diaphragm, which is just right down that area right in there. And what happened here was the diaphragm became ruptured and it got a hole in it, so it wouldn't work properly. I've already taken the diaphragm out, and here in just a little bit we're going to be taking this old pressure switch off here and installing a new one, hopefully, if it all goes well. So that's what it looks like in this case. Like I said, there's a wide variety of these pressure switches. This is just the one that this unit happens to use. And right here in the front of the unit we have a pair of gauges on there. You may wonder, why does the compressor need 2 gauges? Well, because this gauge right here is what shows the actual tank pressure. Right down here, of course, is the tank. This one has a 15-gallon tank. Again, it's a Brute brand compressor made by Briggs & Stratton. Right over here, we can see the little Briggs & Stratton emblem right there. It's been a pretty good compressor. Just these things can break down once in a while, like just about anything else. But here we have our what's called a primary gauge, and this is what indicates the pressure inside the tank. Now off to the right hand side of that is the regulator. Up here's the knob for the regulator, right up here. And this is what we use to adjust the output pressure coming off our quick connect over here, which is what our air hose hooks into. So this gauge right here is what shows us what our output pressure is. And the reason we need a regulator on here is because different tools require different amounts of air pressure. For example, an impact wrench may need 100 pounds, may need 110, maybe 120. They're all different. Now, on the other hand, we might want to use also a very good air paint sprayer that I haven't used in a while. But for an air paint sprayer or other things, we need to turn the pressure down about maybe say 60 or 80 psi. So to accommodate different tools for different purposes, we're going to need to take our regulator and just crank it down. As we turn this knob right up here, we can adjust the amount of output air pressure coming out to our quick connect, and therefore going through our air hose into whatever air tool we're using. So that's a little something on regulators. So we got to be able to regulate the pressure. So anyway, guys, that's some basics about the air compressor itself, regarding the pressure switch, the regulator, various parts of the compressor assembly, and how the gauges operate, what their purpose is. Next thing we need to take a look at is our tool layout for repair like this. What we got here is a variety of what we commonly call crescent type wrenches. That's these right here. These of course are adjustable wrenches, and they're very handy for a lot of different things. We can turn our deal here, this little dial, and adjust these to just about whatever size we might need. We have here is an open end wrench, which in some cases what we need to get into certain areas where we couldn't get our boxed end into. What's cool about these wrenches here, these have a ratchet end on there. They work just like a socket and ratchet. So in a lot of cases where I can get this wrench into, I can use this just like I would a regular socket and ratchet. Now in the case of this compressor, we're going to be using mostly our open end wrenches. Another very, very important thing to have on hand is some of this tape right here. This is Teflon thread tape. You can use a liquid thread sealant, thread dope, some people call it. In my case, I've worked on stuff like this before, including hooking up air hoses and a variety of things. I've just had better success with the tape versus the liquid. So here's some of the tape right here. I've just, on water pipes and plumbing, I've used the liquid sealant and it's done real well, but with air pressure, it just seems to behave differently. And I just have not had a lot of success using the liquid on air stuff. This tape works really good. So anyway, guys, sorry about the rain noise. It's just pouring down. I thought we were going to get a little break in it, and just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about another repair I got in progress here. And right now it is so noisy here in the garage. We have no insulation in the ceiling anywhere. As you can probably tell, it's just noisy as can be. So I was just thinking I may break this up into a couple different videos, and when we have a better weather day, I'll resume this and show you guys the actual repair in progress. Before we go, I just want to mention one thing too. I'm watching out for lightning too here in southeast Missouri. The weather just gets crazy around here. We've had flash flooding and all kinds of stuff going on. Before we go on this video, one thing I definitely want to mention to you guys, if you get into repair like this, just in case you take on something like this on your own, right here I have the new pressure switch already right out of the box. I just ordered this a few days ago. Got it shipped here just a couple days ago. The reason I emphasize, before you tear into a repair like this on your own, it's good to have your new part on hand. Have it right there in your shop or whatever your workspace is, in your garage or whatever. And the main reason being, if this is something you don't do every day of the week, like myself, I don't repair air compressors every day. It's just an essential piece of equipment in my shop that needs a new pressure switch. So I'm going to attempt this on my own. And I've done it before, so hopefully it'll all go well. But make sure you got your new part on hand. The main reason behind that is because, you know, some of us have maybe a short memory span. I just forgot what I was going to say next. No, it's a joke. Memory problems, okay. But anyway, it's a great idea to have your new part on hand. That way you can directly compare the new part you're installing, so this pressure switch, with your old one. And that way you just take off one wire at a time, unhook one thing at a time, so on and so forth. Don't know if I showed you this. Over here on this side, I might turn it around a little bit, get a little better shot of that. This little booger right over here is a pressure safety release valve. This is in case you don't know much about air compressors. Like, I'm not a full-blown compressor professional repair person, but I know these things. What this little booger here is on here for is in case the pressure switch might happen to fail and let the compressor build up more air pressure than is safe for this unit. This little booger right here will pop out. I think it's stuck right now. I'll pull a little harder. Okay, it'll pop out. I gotta put some lube on that. There, it opened up. This is designed to pop out. Like in this case, this compressor is rated for 125 psi. If for whatever reason something goes wrong and it builds up more pressure than it's supposed to, rather than have some sort of an explosion, now I may have failed to mention that compressed air can be very dangerous. You got to be very careful with it. And when working around it, always make sure you wear your eye protection and sometimes hearing protection as well. A little booger right there is in case something goes wrong. This will pop out and release any excess pressure built up in the system automatically. Okay? So that's what that's on there for. So that's a far better option than having the tank explode or a hose burst or something more catastrophic that cause some sort of injury. So hey guys, just a little quickie update on some stuff going on here in the shop. Again, I apologize for the rain noise. I can't control the weather. I just hadn't done a video in a while, and thought I'd show you guys some of this latest repair stuff I'm working on. So anyway, I appreciate you checking out this video. I want to thank some more new subscribers just hopped on the channel here over the last few days. I want to welcome you guys on board. Glad to have you. Thanks for tuning in. But anyway, thanks for checking out the video. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. For those of you who haven't done so yet, I strongly encourage you to click that little subscribe link. It's right over there. And just subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have more videos coming out over the next few days. I'm going to finish this repair video on a day when it's not quite so noisy here in the shop. So again, if you haven't done so yet, click that link right over there, guys. You're missing out. I want you to see some stuff I work on. I'm going to show you some more pointers on how I do this stuff, the kind of tools that I use, and how I do the stuff that I do. And that way I'm trying to be helpful. So if you get into something like this on your own, something you've never done before, and you don't know what kind of tools to use, you don't know some of the pointers and some of the ways of doing this stuff, I'm here to help you guys out, to teach you and instruct you how to do repairs like this, so you can do this on your own rather than sending a unit like this to an authorized repair center where you're going to spend probably $200 or $300 just to do a simple repair like this. You watch my videos on my channel, I'll help you guys save time, save money, and give you an education on how to do things like this on your own. That's why I'm here. That's why I do the videos. So I really want to thank you guys for checking out the video. Thank all you new subscribers just hopped on board. Just welcome you guys to the channel. And again, if you're new here, I'm Walt Moore, also known as Dan Wilson. And maybe by tomorrow or another day, the weather will clear up and I can have a little better audio and shoot you guys another video. So that's all I got for right now. You guys take care. God bless. And I will check back in with you on the next video.